Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Aiken versus Aiken.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Aiken, you filed a lawsuit against your mother for paternity fraud. You claim due to her many lies, you uncovered that one man is on your birth certificate, but you grew up calling another man dad. You are confused and say your world has been turned upside down. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Aiken, you say you've committed no crime and believe once the DNA results prove who you claim is your daughter's biological father, you want an apology. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Aiken, explain to me how your mother committed fraud.
For years, my mom had been lying to me back and forth about who is my daddy is. And I'm hurt and I'm tired and I need to know who is my daddy.
So you know she's been lying?
Yes.
How do you know that?
A couple years back, Henry Jenkins Jr. told me that my mom told him that I wasn't his daughter, but he was like, whatever
Wait a minute. I never in my life told that.
So do you believe Ms. Aiken is Mr. Jenkins' biological child?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is what you're asserting here in court today.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Brittany, I'm going to call you Brittany if you don't mind, because both of you all are Aiken. So,
yes, ma'am.
Throughout your childhood, you were told that Mr. Jenkins was your biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a relationship with him?
I had a wonderful relationship with my daddy. I loved him dearly, yes.
And so were you ever presented with any information, indication that someone else could be your biological father?
No, Your Honor.
So how did you stumble upon this?
I stumbled upon it when I had went to get the birth certificate right here, Your Honor. And
you have that with you?
Yes,
Jerome,
Your Honor.
will you pass me her evidence, please? Why did you go get a birth certificate?
To get his survivor's check, Your Honor.
Okay, so upon Mr. Jenkins' death, you were trying to collect benefits.
Yes.
And when you got your birth certificate, what did you find?
That Thomas Lewis Aiken name was on my birth certificate, not Mr. Jenkins.
When you see the name Thomas Lewis Aiken, what do you do?
I'm puzzled because I don't know this man.
You've never heard of him?
I heard of him, but I never seen him as in person.
But your last name is Aiken?
Yeah, that's confusing me too.
Why did you think your last name was Aiken and your father's last name was Jenkins?
Because my mama was married at the time.
Oh, so you're saying that at the time you were conceived, your mother was married to Mr. Aiken?
Yes, Your Honor.
Me and Mrs. Aikens was not together when I got pregnant with her.
Okay, so she got the last name Aiken, but you were not technically together at the time.
No, we was not.
You were separated.
We were separated.
And you were having a relationship with Mr. Jenkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you having a relationship, ma'am, with anyone else?
No, ma'am.
And so when you discovered you were pregnant, you believed it was Mr. Jenkins' child?
Yes, because I know the date I got pregnant at the beginning of November.
It was the beginning of November?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know that was the date?
Because when me and him was having sex, Your Honor, I remember the bed broke down and we kept on doing it.
You kept on doing it?
That's right. And that's how I deceived her that night. That night.
That's how you deceived her or conceived her?
Conceived her that night.
Okay. So you broke the bed.
Yeah, we
and
broke
y'all
the bed.
kept on going.
That's right. We kept on going. We didn't stop.
So after you saw Mr. Aiken's name on your birth certificate, what do you do, Ms. Aiken?
I got in the car and I told my husband, I said, let's go to my mama's house. I'm ready to go now. And when I pulls up, I hand her the paper. And she said that this is not right. Henry Jenkins is your daddy. And I said, well, do you know where I can find Thomas at? And she said yes, and we took her down there.
I got out the car and went to the house, and then I knocked on the door. Mr. Aiken's sister came to the door, and I asked her, has she seen? I went in and I asked her, has she seen Thomas? She said no. I said, well then, she said, where their mama, Thomas' mother, was coming out the driveway, and she said I gave her my phone number to give to Mr. Accuses to call me.
When you got there, Brittany, what were you feeling?
As his mom was pulling out the driveway, me and my husband looked at her, and we was puzzled because I'm a big-built woman, and his mom is a big-built woman. And I'm looking like, oh my God, really?
But excuse me, Your Honor, but I don't see no future. I don't see no features in his mother and Thomas Aiken's period. I see all Mr. Jenkins in her.
You see Mr. Jenkins' features.
That's right.
But you're saying, Miss Aiken, when you pulled up on Mr. Aiken's mother and she was driving out, you noticed the body structure and you said that felt familiar to you because it reminded you of yourself.
I'm a big woman and she's a big woman. And I'm just looking and I'm looking like, oh my gosh, could this be my grandma?
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So,
yes, ma'am.
Ms. Aiken, once you saw this person that you potentially thought could be your grandmother, did you ever get a chance to meet Mr. Aiken?
No, Your Honor, because he wasn't there yet. After we had went over and left from Thomas' mom's house, she told me and my husband that Thomas Aiken had filled out the birth certificate. When she was laying in the bed, she had dozed off and went to sleep.
Oh, your mother says that when she was asleep, Mr. Aiken filled out the birth certificate and put his name on it.
Yeah.
I did not tell her that. No, I did not tell her that, Your Honor.
How could she make up a story like this?
Well, then she took me the wrong way, but I didn't tell her that. I didn't tell her nothing like that.
That's why, Your Honor, I had wanted to go back and talk to Thomas and his mom and his sister by myself, because I knew it was a lie in it.
And I can see that that really just upsets you.
Yes. 30 years, this is the man I'm thinking who was my daddy. Because if it weren't for him and his mom, I would probably be dead or boarded off somewhere with somebody. I don't.
My mama had all three of my kids at the time.
My grandma, which is her mom, she just gave me to Henry Jenkins and his mom.
Did they ever say to you that they had doubt as to whether or not Mr. Jenkins was your biological father?
Mr. Jenkins had told me that, well, your mom said that you're not my daughter. But,
I ain't never told your dad that. Never.
Where would he come up with that?
I don't know what he coming up with.
my mama only cared about herself.
No,
She never cared about me my whole in 30 years. She was mad because my daddy would not sleep with her. That's why.
No, what is you talking about?
My daddy told me that.
What is you talking about?
Why would I make up this?
Now, I ain't gonna
Tell me that.
I know who I was messing with, who I wasn't messing with.
Really?
She seems to remain firm that Mr. Jenkins is your biological father. She says she knows.
I mean, he was my daddy because he took care of me.
She's saying he's your biological father as well. You just don't believe that.
Why would I believe
It's
something?
all about this money situation, Your Honor. That's all it's about, the money situation.
It's nothing about no money because the simple fact, she never did nothing from me my whole 30 years.
Yeah, so
why you only had me $1 in my whole entire 30 years?
I ain't never heard you no dollar. You stop that lie.
I don't understand why she's telling this the same thing she went and told. That's why I went back and talked to Thomas' mama and Thomas' sister. That's why I went back and talked to them because I knew she had told them something. She went and told them the reason why I wanted to know who my daddy is for some money. And them people start looking at me like I want money from them. And I told them I don't want anything from y'all.
Well, then
I just want to know who my daddy is.
All right. Well, and that's what we're trying to help you figure out. And as a part of that, Mr. Aiken is here at court today. And I'd like to hear from him. Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Aiken into the courtroom?
This lies and deceit. I'm tired of it.
Tired of it too.
Mr. Aiken, thank you for joining us. You may be seated. Mr. Aiken, as you know, we are here discussing paternity surrounding Brittany.
Yes.
She carries your last name.
Yes.
Do you acknowledge that you have had a relationship with Ms. Bonnie Aiken?
Yeah, that's my wife.
You are still married
Yeah,
to her?
I'm still married to her.
To this day?
To this day.
See, Your Honor?
We still married to this day.
And she
We've
have a
been married.
boyfriend.
Ms. Aiken, you got a husband and a boyfriend?
We've been broke up for some years.
We've been split up for some years. Like I told Brittany when I first met her, when the first time I saw her, she was maybe 3 or 4 months old. And I didn't see her no more till she was grown like that. That's been about a month ago.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You know your name is on her birth certificate,
Yes,
right?
uh-huh. I found that. I didn't know that
'Cause he
until
was
a month,
incarcerated, Your
about a
Honor.
month ago. But during the time she got pregnant with her, I was incarcerated. I had been incarcerated for over almost a year.
So in your mind, there is no way that you are her biological father?
No, ma'am. I can't be.
So, Brittany, did you ever hear this? Because you believe he could be your biological father, but he's saying now today, there's no way I could be.
When I met Thomas, I had gave him the birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that I didn't fill it out. It wasn't me. Your mom told me, you're not my child.
That's right.
Yeah.
I sure did tell her that.
And he said that, well, I'm gonna help you get a test done. Didn't hear nothing from him. I had seen him on a Tuesday, and I said, I said, hey, and I was yelling. I don't have no $400 to do no DNA test. That's not what I'm asking you. Hey, how you doing would be nice first. Not, you don't have no $400. I understand time is hard. But I just want to know, who is my daddy?
You know, it's hard because when I hear you say 30 years, I still don't have any answers. I see that as I listen to the testimony. But I do have those results for you all. And if you're ready, we can get to the truth. All right, Jerome? In the case of Aiken versus Aiken, when it comes to 30-year-old Brittany Aiken, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Aiken, you are not the father.
But if she needs some help from me, anything I could do for her, I would do it. Because, I see,
Thank you for saying that. I think it's important, though, to reiterate that she also wants the truth.
Yeah.
Am I correct, Ms.
Yes.
Aiken? You want to know the truth.
Correct.
And your mother has told you that Mr. Jenkins is your biological father, even though you found Mr. Aiken's name on your birth certificate and thought maybe he was your biological father. You're still confused,
Yeah.
and you want the truth. So I have another result. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Because the DNA of Mr. Henry Jenkins Jr. was unavailable to test for biological relatedness, an avuncular DNA test with the closest biological relative, his brother, James Jenkins, was performed. With that being said, the results determined if there is a viable relationship between Brittany Aiken and James Jenkins. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Aiken versus Aiken, when it comes to 30-year-old Brittany Aiken, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Jenkins and Ms. Brittany Aiken are not related.
I'm sorry, Your
I'm so
Honor,
sorry.
but I always had thought that was your daddy.
But Ms. Aiken, I asked you in this courtroom
Yeah, you
today,
did.
were
You
you
asked
with
me.
anyone else?
Yeah, you asked me, but I can't think of no one else.
I had believed that was gonna happen, but I wanted my daddy to be my daddy.
So this is difficult because you do still have your mother. She might have just believed Mr. Jenkins was your biological
would
father.
have believed
I've
that.
seen that
Oh,
at least 1,000 times. Whether it was right or wrong, it was real in her mind.
I wish it was.
I was.
But you know what was real that we can't take away? That he loved you.
Yeah.
And you were his little girl. And his mother took care of you. And despite any doubt, he loved you and accepted you and called you his daughter. And at the end of the day, you were so much more blessed than many. You understand?
Yes.
And so I want you all to go forward. I want you to talk to Dr. Jeff, take advantage of the counseling we have for you. And maybe in that moment, as you begin to talk, maybe we can find out some more answers that we've yet to uncover that may lead you to finding out if there's another potential father there. And if you need us here, we will be here, all right? I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Court is adjourned.